Welcome back to our comprehensive NClEX review. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the respiratory system, from anatomy to physiology. The respiratory system's primary job is gas exchange, but it's a complex multi-stage process divided into the upper and lower tracts. The upper respiratory tract includes the nose, nasal cavity, sinuses, and the pharynx. Its main roles are protection and preparation. As you inhale, hair and mucus in the nasal cavity trap dust and pathogens, acting as your body's first line of defense. The nasal cavity also warms and moistens the air to protect the delicate tissues of your lower lungs from irritation. Your sinuses are air-filled cavities that lighten the skull and further help in moistening and warming the inhaled air. The pharynx or throat serves as a common passageway for both air and food, directing them to the appropriate tubes. Now, let's move to the lower respiratory tract, where the actual work of sound production and gas exchange begins. The larynx or voice box is essential for keeping the airway open and, of course, producing the sounds of speech. A critical NClEX point, the epiglottis acts as a trapdoor, preventing food and liquid from entering the lungs. Below the larynx is the trachea, a rigid tube that leads directly to the primary bronchi of the lungs. It's reinforced with C-shaped cartilage rings that keep it from collapsing under the pressure changes of breathing. The trachea is lined with microscopic cilia that sweep mucus and trapped debris upward to be coughed out or swallowed. The trachea bifurcates into the right and left mainstem bronchi, which then branch further into the lungs. Notice that the right bronchus is shorter, wider, and more vertical than the left. This is a high-yield NClEX fact. Because of its anatomy, the right lung is at a much higher risk for aspiration of foreign objects or fluids. As the bronchi continue to branch, they become bronchioles. These small airways lack cartilage but contain smooth muscle. In conditions like asthma, this smooth muscle contracts, narrowing the airways and making it difficult to breathe. At the very end of the line, we find the alveoli. These tiny air sacs are the most important part of the system for your exam. The alveoli are surrounded by a dense network of capillaries. This is the exact site where gas exchange occurs. Alveoli are made of two main cell types. Type 1 cells are very thin and facilitate the rapid exchange of gases. Type 2 cells are less numerous but critical because they produce a substance called surfactant. Surfactant reduces surface tension. Without it, the alveoli would stick together and collapse with every breath. This collapse is known as atelectasis. Maintaining surfactant levels is vital for keeping those air sacs open. Now let's look at physiology. Step 1 is ventilation, the physical movement of air in and out of the lungs. During inspiration, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward, creating a vacuum that pulls air into the lungs. Expiration is typically passive. The diaphragm relaxes and moves upward, pushing air out as the chest wall recoils. Next is external respiration, the exchange of gases between the alveoli and the blood within the capillaries. This movement is driven entirely by diffusion. Gases move naturally from areas of high concentration to low concentration. Once in the blood, oxygen must be transported to the rest of the body. Most of it isn't just floating in the plasma. In fact, 97% of oxygen is bound to hemoglobin, while only 3% is dissolved in the plasma. Carbon dioxide transport is a bit different. It has three main paths back to the lungs. The majority, 70%, is carried as bicarbonate. 23% binds to hemoglobin, and 7% is dissolved. Internal respiration is the final exchange, occurring at the cellular level between the blood and the body's tissues. Cells use that oxygen for metabolism to create energy, producing carbon dioxide as a waste product to be exhaled. Who controls all this? The brainstem. It regulates your respiratory rate and rhythm without you even thinking about it. The medulla is the main respiratory control center, setting the basic pace for your breathing. The pons works with the medulla to regulate the rhythm and smooth out the transitions between breaths. Another major NClEX point, CO2 is the primary driver of breathing. When levels rise, the brain signals you to take a breath. Finally, remember your lobe counts. The right lung has 3 lobes, while the left lung has only 2 to make room for the heart. Focus on the alveoli, the role of surfactant, and the difference between the bronchi, and you'll be well prepared for your exam. That wraps up our 5-minute masterclass on the respiratory system. Study hard, stay focused, and good luck on your NClEX.